Description was accurate saying the pants run long, but it was not accurate when it said not too long. That's the wrong size. There was no size chart. They're way too long for me, and I'm 5'7" and actually prefer a long length. This is like extra long.
She's 5'7" and they're still dragging on the ground significantly. She's above average height and she's still gonna trip over these.
Y'all got me up. Why was my order canceled whenever y'all got them in stock on the website, babe? What, you didn't want somebody else with a platform to review this? That's crazy. Crazy.
Canceling somebody's order because they have a big platform on TikTok and you are scared of what they're going to say about your pajamas. Why? What do you have to hide? Hello and welcome back to another episode of Influencer Insanity, where we cover all things influencer and social media culture. My name's Hannah, and today's video is centered around a piece of influencer culture news, I guess you could call it. A social media current event where two influencers, Samantha and Cecily Bachman, launched a line of family matching Christmas pajamas called For the Mems. And after a year of development and like a month of promotional hype, this was a total flop amongst their followers. It was really fascinating and sad to watch all of this unfold in real time. It truly was like a train wreck that you just can't look away from. Not because I enjoyed seeing this launch fail, but because it says a lot about the problematic dynamic of influencers building a large faithful following, whipping together a consumable product to be sold to the following, and then charging astronomical out-of-touch prices for below average products with below average effort. Some other examples of this are, of course, the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks a few years ago that were selling for $18, and they allegedly had quality issues like hairs and fibers and plastic pieces in the lipsticks. More recently, we've seen the Mr. Beast Lunchly kits that are supposed to be a better version of Lunchables, yet they're about as 3 times as expensive as Lunchables, and there have been a lot of reports of people finding mold in them. And just a few weeks ago, Patrick Ta launched an eyeshadow duo for $42. 2 eyeshadow shades for $42. Insanity. Not only are customers outraged by the price, but the quality doesn't seem to match up what they were seeing in the promotional materials that Patrick Ta was putting out. They're not as glittery, as shimmery in person as they are on camera. And to make matters worse, Patrick Ta's brand has faced allegations of moldy eyeshadows in the past too. He sells an eyeshadow palette with 12 shades for $70, and a lot of people have come out recently showing that their eyeshadow shades are growing mold. Yet he has the audacity to launch this eyeshadow duo with only 2 shades for $42. So this For the Mems PJ drama, pajama drama, as I like to call it, it's just the next unfortunate example of this phenomenon. People with large social media followings creating a product with questionable quality and then charging astronomical prices for it, almost hoping that their followers are just going to come through and buy it to support them. And I went back and forth on if I was going to cover For the Mems in its own video because it's going to require that I nitpick and dissect a lot of things about their brand in extreme detail. And on one hand, my goal is not to bash Cecily or Samantha or this brand they feel they worked really hard on. I don't have any ill will towards them. I would never wish a failed product launch on anybody. It doesn't make me happy to see how much backlash they've gotten over this. However, the backlash is completely justified and it could have been avoided. And the For the Mems launch is the perfect Exhibit A model for how influencers treat their followings like a cash grab by overcharging for products with severe quality and production issues, and it has got to stop. So at the risk of coming across like I'm singling out and dissecting everything about For the Mems specifically, I do want to cover this situation in a video because it says a lot about influencers expecting their loyal followings to become their loyal customers, and then becoming flustered when they receive pushback from their followers who are voicing their very valid concerns. I already know that I'm going to get comments about this, so please hear me when I say that this is not about hating on these specific influencers or this specific brand. It's about advocating for the everyday follower who deserves better than what these influencers are offering them. We're kind of using For the Mems as a case study. I'm tired of seeing influencers taking advantage of their followers by haphazardly whipping together a consumable product and then selling it at an insultingly out-of-touch price point. And for legal purposes, everything stated in this video is stated as a matter of my own personal opinion, not as a matter of fact. I have never ordered these PJs. I have never tried them for myself. These are all my observations and opinions based on what I have seen on the For the Mems website and in their own promotional materials, and I urge you to use your own discernment and make your own judgments for yourself. Let's start with an overview of why Cecily and Samantha created For the Mems in the first place. Their announcement Instagram post reads, "It's here, we created shop for the mems because we noticed how difficult it was to find matching Christmas PJs each year that fit our entire fam. Not just that, but PJs our husband would also want to wear. For the mems goes beyond holiday PJs, but we will also drop more launches for your family / significant others / groups where you can capture the memory of where you're going to be together. We hope you feel put together in every memory and feel good in what you're wearing because it's for the mems. There's been a little bit of confusion on what for the mems means. I've seen some people think that it's supposed to be a combo of men and moms because their mission statement seems to be that they're creating this line of PJs that both men and women will want to wear, but it's actually in reference to a very millennial coded text phrase short for the memories. Like you're doing something for the sake of memories. We're doing it for the mems. So right off the bat, their brand name might be a bit confusing for people who aren't up to date with their lingo, I guess. And these millennial coded phrases are consistent throughout most of the designs. We'll talk about all the designs in depth later, but just to give you a sneak peek, the men's t-shirts say things like, "What's cooler than being cool?" and "It's lit," and "Out here looking like a snack," and "Santa came to slay," spelled IGH. In my opinion, these kinds of phrases are appealing to a very small percentage of people. I think the majority of older people wouldn't identify with them, and I think the majority of younger people would find them cringe at this point. These were the trendy things to say back in like 2018, 2019. I think if you ask any high schooler or college kid today, they would say that these are not popular catchphrases anymore. They're outdated. These are the kinds of sayings that get passed over when you see them printed on a mug at TJ Maxx. And I only bring this up because the mission of the brand is to create PJs that every member of the family is going to want to wear, all the way from newborns to the grandparents, including the men in the family. However, I don't think that these designs are everybody's taste. And can I also point out that unisex holiday matching pajamas are not something that's uncommon. A lot of retailers sell these, yet they're acting like it has never been done before. They're positioning their brand as fulfilling this unmet need, which is really comical to me actually, because hundreds of brands sell matching Christmas PJs. Just the ones that I'm thinking of off the top of my head that I've gotten ads for on my Instagram already this year: Old Navy, Target, Walmart, Hannah Anderson, Kite Baby, Little Sleepies, Burt's Bees Baby. You get the point. They're everywhere. My family has gotten matching Christmas pajamas for the past few years. They're not hard to find. And it's also not difficult to find a print that both me and my husband can agree on either. So just from a brand identity perspective, it doesn't seem very solid. It seems like there's a lot of holes. They're not really fulfilling this unmet need like they think they are. You want to sell matching holiday family PJs? Great. So does every major retailer in the US. So then I'm thinking, okay, the brand isn't really a unique idea, but maybe the quality is great. Maybe the designs are super unique. Maybe there's something about For the Mems that stands out amongst what's already out there. Maybe the cut of the PJs is exceptionally flattering. Maybe the quality of the material is top notch. Well, I really hate to burst your bubble, but in my opinion, there was nothing super special about these PJs based on the marketing materials I saw in the weeks leading up to the launch. There's the Santa collection, which is just red PJs with a Santa face printed on them. Revolutionary. Never could have thought of that myself. There's a green tartan set, which is also a very common holiday print. There's an ornament set with red and green ornaments printed all over it. And then there's the après-ski set, which of all of these, I would say this is most my taste personally. Samantha did say on her Instagram stories that this design was hand-drawn by a friend, which I admit, that's pretty cool. That's really unique.
The little drawings that we had our friend design are so cute. Little fireplace, ski lift, skiers cabin. I just love it.
At first glance, this seemed to be the most unique design that set For the Mems apart from other pajama companies. That is, until I Googled après-ski pajamas and immediately found a nearly identical print sold on another website called Katie Kime. Same name, same colors, same design concept, so it turns out that it's not as unique as I thought. None of these designs are. Nothing stood out to me as like, oh my gosh, I need those PJs. That is the cutest design I have ever seen in my entire life. But you know what? That's totally fine. Just because it's not my taste, just because I don't like it, doesn't mean that they're not going to sell well. Doesn't mean that lots of other people aren't going to enjoy them. That's the cool thing about opinions. We don't have to agree. In fact, there was a lot of love and hype for them in the comments when they first announced this PJ line in October, from people saying these are so cute, they love the designs, they can't wait to purchase them. And that is so great. You want people to be excited about what you're launching. You want to create that hype and that excitement. And the issues don't start presenting themselves until launch day, which is November 10th, 2024. Here's Cecily trying on all 4 different prints and showing the different features of the pajamas, and she posted this on launch day just a few hours before the website was unlocked and went live to customers.
Okay, first up is the one that I wore to bed last night. This is the Santa PJ set. This is what it looks like as I'm wearing it. I have it tied. The drawstring is adjustable, and then also the waistband does like adjust as well. But what I love about all of our PJs is that they are relaxed. They feel so comfortable to wear and also so comfy to sleep in. The material is so soft. And this is what the length looks like on me, being 5'4", and then also the length of the PJ shirt. I personally love to tuck all of them in. That's just how I like to wear my pajamas, and to show like the white bow. It's really just super cute. And this is a size small, if I didn't say that already.
Let's pause on this frame right here. Why is a size small absolutely swallowing somebody of a 5'4" frame? Look at those sleeves. Imagine trying to do anything at all with sleeves that are hanging like 4 inches past your fingertips. I'm only 5'1", so the length of these pants is also highly concerning to me. With as short as I am, unfortunately, pant length, it's always an issue. It's always something I have to consider when I'm buying new clothes. And just seeing her be 3 inches taller than me and her pants are still dragging on the ground like she's gonna slip on her heels, that's a huge red flag regarding the cut and the quality. Average women's height in the US is 5'3" to 5'4", so why is a size small PJ set on an average height woman this ill-fitting? There are clearly some issues with the sizing and the cut of these PJs. To me, this set looks like it should be labeled at least a medium, if not a large, which is confusing because later she claims that some of the prints are actually prone to shrinking, so you might want to consider sizing up.
Okay, next is Après Ski. I love this print. It feels so soft, so good. Here is the fit of the length. I have it right below my belly button, but like I was saying, this drawstring is nice and long on all of the pajama sets, so you can cinch it in and wear it up a little bit higher, or you can wear it a little bit more relaxed if that's what you like. And then also this elastic is nice and stretchy. It is not like thick, it's not gonna cling to you or make you feel uncomfortable. And that's what I love about all of our sets. They are so comfortable to wear and they feel so good. I haven't shown like behind, but here's behind. You guys are gonna be looking so good on Christmas morning. Like, incredible.
It makes me giggle that she's pointing out the waistband being like, it's so elastic and stretchy, and here's a drawstring that you can use to make them more tight if you want to. Like, yeah, you're just describing how elastic and drawstrings work. Those are pretty standard pajama features. It feels like she's using a bunch of filler words to describe the PJs in a fancy way to hopefully distract from the fact that they're just basic pajamas.
Next is tartan, you guys. This one was such a fun one to create because we...
Tartan? Tartan. As a person of Scottish descent and a member of Clan Donald, I am offended. I'm not actually offended, but come on, it's pronounced tartan. And she pronounced the last design as après ski when it's actually pronounced après ski if you're French. It's nitpicky and petty of me to point out, I know, but come on, tartan, après, like you've been supposedly developing these PJs for the last year and at some point you had to decide on a name for them, so how can you not pronounce the names right? It's an honest mistake, I'm sure, but it's coming across to the viewer like they didn't do much research. It lacks professionalism.
Because we have always wanted like a great plaid, like a good holiday plaid. This one is a little bit more prone to shrinking. So I have already washed this one a couple times. I do recommend hanging this one to dry to keep its length. But if you, like me, for reference, I'm 5'4", and the length is still really great as being in a size small. Once again, drawstring right here. It's all the same, and it's absolutely amazing. I personally love the way that this one photographs. It's really pretty, and it's such a classic, like, color, or classic print. This is something that will literally never go out of style, and we absolutely love the tartan. Okay, and then last is the vintage ornament set. This one is so fun. It is also prone to shrinking, so just keep that in mind when you're ordering. You may want to size up with the tartan or the ornaments if you are on the taller side. If you are on the shorter side, I think that you will be okay. Me being 5'4", I didn't notice a huge difference in the shrinkage of length, just a tad bit, and they still hit the floor and are great and feel wonderful. But tartan and ornaments do shrink a little bit, and that is described on the website. This drawstring is like a charcoal gray, and then it's also resembled in the buttons and the piping. And it's supposed to be tinsel on a Christmas tree. that vintage Christmas vibe. We really took into consideration all of the holiday feels and the memories that you'll be creating with your family. And we wanted to evoke that emotion that you get during the holidays. And we're so excited!
Okay, interesting. So she made sure to point out that 2 of the 4 women's pajama sets, the tartan and the ornament prints, are prone to shrinking, so you should actually size up from your normal size. And on the website, they do have notes on these 2 product listings that say they are prone to shrinking due to the all-over print. With a bit of Googling, I learned that the all-over print means that the design is printed onto the full length of the fabric, which is then cut and sewn into the clothing pieces. Whereas placement print is when the clothing is sewn and then the designs are printed on afterwards. So their Santa set was likely placement printed, where the Santa head was just added onto the red PJs, but the ornament and the tartan sets are all over printed because the design covers the entire garment head to toe. That's all good and dandy, but the après ski set also looks to be all over printed, and there's no disclaimer about that shrinking on the website, and she didn't mention it here either. So I don't know what that means, other than it seems like there must be some level of inconsistency from the manufacturing standpoint. All of the women's sets are made from the same material, and 3 out of the 4 have an all over print, so why are only 2 out of the 4 prone to shrinking? I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen another brand offer 4 designs of supposedly the exact same pajama sets and then saying they all fit differently because of the design that's printed on top of it. Something seems a little strange about that excuse, but what do I know? I know nothing about manufacturing clothing, so this is all just speculation. As a consumer, that seems like a weird explanation to me. Until this point, there have been a couple red flags about the quality, but no deal breakers, I would say. That is until they finally launched the PJ line and they unlocked the website so that customers could actually go and see the full range of pieces, the full range of materials, and the pricing. And then all hell broke loose. I just want to set the stage here. For a family of 4, that's our sample size. Family of 4, you can get matching PJs from Old Navy for about $80. You can get them at Walmart for about $50. You can get them at Target for about $65. Now, if you really wanted to invest in quality fabrics with a bit cuter, more tasteful designs, for a family of 4, you could get your PJs from brands like Kite Baby for around $250 or from Little Sleepies for $210. $210 to $250, that really is like the upper limit of the price range that you're gonna see on matching family Christmas pajamas, other than like designer brands or something. And it's a bit of a sticker shock. That is a splurge. That's a lot of money. That's an investment. Very, very expensive, but you are getting what you pay for in terms of cut, quality, feel, and designs. And I can attest to that from a personal experience standpoint. One year we did get our PJs from Target, and another year we got them from Kite Baby, and it is worlds apart in terms of quality. These more expensive PJs like Kite Baby or Little Sleepies, they're made out of bamboo fabric. They are so silky soft. They're really breathable. They almost have like this cooling effect to them. You don't get overheated. But what I really want to make clear with these examples is that matching family pajamas do not have to be expensive. You can find them for really affordable prices at major retailers. We're talking like less than $100 for your family of 4. Maybe we're talking in like the $200 price range if you're gonna get crazy and go with the fancy stuff, but you don't have to. You can get the same effect of matching as a family for a much lower price point. Now, I'm gonna give you a second to just imagine to yourself what this influencer-owned brand For the Mems has the audacity to charge for their Christmas pajamas. Keeping in mind, they're probably not gonna be as affordable as Walmart or Target because this is an independently owned brand, right? But just think, what would they possibly charge for a family of 4? And then brace yourself, because what I'm gonna tell you is probably more than you're expecting. If you have a family of 4 and you would like to buy some For the Mems PJs, it is going to cost you a whopping $370. They are charging almost 50% more than even the highest price points we just talked about. Let me just break this down piece by piece. They want $98 for a women's PJ set. $98, almost $100. For men, they don't sell the tops and bottoms as a set. They sell t-shirts and joggers, and you have to buy them separately. They want $38 for a graphic t-shirt and $78 for plain solid color joggers. That is totaling $116 for the men's outfit. For your older kids, that's gonna be $78 each for both the girls matching set and the boys tee and joggers. They're selling a kid's fleece jumpsuit with a hood for $68, and this this is what really gets me, this is actually sickening. They want $58 for the infant and toddler PJs. That is positively insulting to be charging parents $58 for their baby's pajamas that they're only going to be able to wear for the next month or so. That's the thing about Christmas family PJs, they're not reusable. The kids are not going to fit into them next year. This is a one and done deal. Let's put it this way. You could get PJs for your whole family from Walmart for cheaper than one set of the infant PJs from For the Mems. It actually enrages me and makes my blood boil how they think these prices are okay. Their mission statement is essentially to make holiday PJs accessible to every member of the family, except for most families can't afford this. It just goes to show how completely out of touch with reality these influencers are, that they think these are appropriate prices to be charging the average family. And not just the average family, but their loyal followers. They are influencers. They are relying on their loyal followers to become the customers of this PJ line. Yet it's clear they did absolutely zero market research on what family PJs are going for on the market and what their target audience is, because if they did that research, they would know that most families cannot afford this. Most families struggle to afford groceries. $370 is an entire family's monthly grocery budget for some people. How dare you think you can charge these kinds of prices for clothing that you wear to bed or wear for a few hours on Christmas morning? Now you might be thinking, Hannah, if you can't afford it, just don't buy it. You're just not their target customer. Just because it's not in your price range doesn't mean that it's not in other people's price ranges. Don't blame the brand for their prices, blame your budget, essentially. Which, yes, I understand that perspective, but I don't think it applies to this situation because we know who their target audience is. These aren't luxury designer pajamas marketed towards celebrities or something. They're family pajamas marketed towards people who follow these two influencers on social media. Therefore, the primary customer base for these PJs are just normal, average, everyday, low to middle class families. Samantha does food and recipe content. Cecily does Christian Mama 4 lifestyle content. So the types of people that follow these influencers are likely people who shop at Walmart and Target and Old Navy, and they know what Christmas PJs go for on the market. They probably have a rough idea in their head of what they could get their family for a certain price point. And so to get all hyped up for this new PJ line from their favorite influencers, only to be slapped in the face with a 300 to 400% markup is a complete insult. That would really change my perspective of them as a follower of theirs. Like, oh, I see how it is. I'm just a cash grab for you. Awesome. And I saw these screenshots on Reddit where supposedly when followers were sharing their concerns about the pricing, Cecily was responding back to them saying that they offer shop pay and you can put your PJs on a payment plan if you want to. Talk about out of touch. Talk about a slap in the face. Oh, you're too poor to afford our astronomical pricing? Just finance it. She was really telling people to put their PJs on a payment plan, which is just salt in the wound at this point. Unsurprisingly, those comments got deleted pretty quickly. In fact, they turned off the comments on most of their For the Mems posts to mitigate the backlash, and they also went on a blocking spree of blocking anybody who said anything negative about them. Because the best way to deal with backlash is to silence people, right? They're digging their own grave at this point. Their post on Instagram announcing that the website was live had over 700 negative comments before they eventually turned the comments off. But we'll come back to the backlash they received and how they handled it in a bit. First, let's talk about the quality of these PJs, because price is one thing, quality is a whole other thing. Because I could maybe be okay with these prices if they were the highest quality, most unique, most incredible, handcrafted perfection PJs on planet Earth. But after poking around on their website, there are more than a couple concerning things that I found. I'm about to completely nitpick their PJs to death, and that is petty, and I know that, and I own that. However, I do think it's justified, because if I'm going to be financing my Christmas pajamas, they better be nothing less than absolute perfection. And based on what I'm seeing on the website, these have a lot of flaws. The very first thing I noticed that I am shocked wasn't mentioned at all really in any of the comments that I read was that the purpose of the For the Mems PJ launch is to have matching PJs, is it not? Except for the pajamas don't match, you guys. Look at this. As soon as I saw this picture, I noticed that the red color of the men's joggers is not the same shade as the women's sets. In the same way that the blue color of the men's joggers joggers is not the same shade of blue as the women's set either. In both cases, the men's joggers are brighter, more vibrant shades, where the women's PJs are a deeper, richer color. To be fair, this could be a photography issue, a lighting issue, an editing issue, but based on the photos on the website, I noticed right away that it looks like mom got her PJs from one store and dad got his PJs from another store. And he tried his very, very best to find solid color joggers that are gonna match as closely as possible, and he got pretty close, but it's not exact. There's a similar issue with the ornament sets where the white color of the kids' jumpsuit is completely different than the white color of the women's and girls' sets. Like a drastically different white. We're talking eggshell versus printer paper, completely mismatched. And then perhaps the biggest offense of all, everyone in the family gets a different tartan print. Here's the tartan print on the women's set, and then here's what it looks like on the kids' jumpsuit and then the infant jumpsuit. At first, I'm like, these are completely different prints. What is going on? But upon closer inspection, it does actually look like it's the same print, but because it's printed on different kinds of material, you lose the red and yellow stripes on the fleece PJs for the kids, and those pull a lot more blue and green. So they look like completely different prints when they're compared to one another and you're standing side by side, in which case you're fully defeating the purpose of having matching PJs. Mom gets a distinct tartan pattern, kids get this muddled green and blue tartan pattern, and dad gets no tartan at all. He gets mismatched green joggers and a Santa t-shirt. It's all so disjointed, and when you consider that these PJs don't match to begin with and they're printed on really low quality materials, there is no universe in which this price is justified. So let's talk quickly about the materials. All of the women's sets are made out of 93% rayon and 7% spandex. The men's tees are 95% rayon and 5% spandex. The men's joggers are 74% nylon and 26% lycra, and both the kids' and infants' jumpsuits are 100% polyester fleece. So many of the upset comments that I saw were about the pricing in relation to the materials used. This isn't 100% organic cotton, this is not bamboo, it's not silk, this is rayon, this is polyester, okay? Extremely cheap to manufacture. And there's nothing wrong with those materials necessarily. A lot of our clothes are made out of them. I am almost positive this shirt is made out of some of those materials. But the quality of the garments is not matching up to the prices they're charging. That's the issue. How the hell are you charging almost $100 for a rayon pajama set? Almost $60 for polyester baby sleepers. It just doesn't make logical sense. They've lost their damn minds. Which then brings me to some things about this launch that I noticed that were pretty unprofessional, which makes these price points seem even more unjustified. And the biggest one was the photo quality of the listings on the website. I actually could not believe this when I saw it. It looked like a mistake. They appear to have gotten a few photos of their family members modeling the pajamas. Those photos look nice. But then they also included a bunch of flat lay photos of the clothes on the ground. I actually gasped when I saw these men's t-shirts. It quite literally looks like someone dug these out of the dirty clothes hamper and just tossed them onto the ground, and however they landed was how the photo was taken. Could you have not ironed these first? Maybe a steamer could have helped you out a little bit. Could you not have taken half a second to lay them flat? And it's also alarming that in these photos you can tell how thin and see-through the t-shirts are because you can see the printed design on the back of the t-shirt from the front of the t-shirt. And this Santa shirt, a freaking crime. Honestly, who do they think they are asking $38 for a t-shirt when this is the best effort they could put into the product photos? I've seen people take better photos of secondhand clothing they're listing on eBay or Poshmark, okay? This is so sloppy. I even found one photo of the women's Santa set where there appears to be a stain on it. It was photographed with a stain, classy. And don't even get me started on the jumpsuits. Whose idea was it to do this little one arm folded action? And why isn't the same arm folded in all of the pictures at least? The girls' sets are also haphazardly laid on the ground, all wrinkly, and the photos aren't consistent here either. And then once I got to the boys' sets, I was like, wait a minute, why does the boys' Santa shirt look so bright and crisp and unwrinkled and actually acceptable compared to the others? And when I clicked on that listing, I noticed that this particular boys' tee does not have a For the Mems tag on it. It has a Comfort Colors tag. With a quick Google search, I found that Custom Ink sells these Comfort Colors brand t-shirts and you can add your own design on them for $17 each. And then I noticed that on the For the Mems website listing, it says the t-shirt is 100% cotton. Due to a manufacturing error, this t-shirt will have a different material than the rest of the collection. I don't know this to be true. I have zero evidence of this, but some have speculated about what this manufacturing error could be. And what I've seen some people talking about is that the back of the men's shirt in the Santa collection says "out here looking like a snack." So the theory is that maybe initially that same saying was printed on the boys' t-shirts as well, but on second thought, maybe they realized, ooh, that's not entirely appropriate to be printing on a young boy's t-shirt. So maybe they scrapped scrapped the initial batch of those t-shirts and then they rush ordered the Comfort Colors ones from someplace like Custom Ink to round out the collection before launch day. And even seeing these two shirts next to each other, they're clearly different colors, the print came out different colors, and it's different material. So again, completely defeating the purpose of offering matching family Christmas pajamas. To me, it honestly feels like all of these pajamas were just plucked from different suppliers and manufacturers and piecemealed together. Some of the PJs are rayon, some of them are lycra, some of them are polyester fleece, now some of them are cotton. Some of the women's designs are prone to shrinking and others are not. This blue doesn't match that blue. This tartan print is different than that tartan print. It's so messy, which could be excusable for a brand new company getting off the ground if they weren't charging what they're charging. Some other indicators of unprofessionalism are the titles and descriptions on their website listings. One example is the description on the men's ornament t-shirt. The women get this all over ornament print, but the men just get a t-shirt with a couple ornaments on the front and then a Christmas tree on the back. And the description says, here's something we can all agree on. No guy should ever be forced to wear a PJ set with ornaments all over it. Really? Since when are ornaments gendered? I wasn't aware that red and green ornaments are only for women. This description strikes me as very immature and childish. Like what? Men can't like ornaments? Grow up. Why would you put that on your website? It's very unprofessional. Another questionable website listing thing is that when they launched the website, they initially called the infant PJs onesies and then they later changed it to jumpsuits. That's because the word onesies is trademarked by Gerber and someone probably had to point that out to them so that they don't get sued. It's like how colloquially we call tissues Kleenex or bandages Band-Aids or food storage containers Tupperware, but when you're selling a product, you can't list it under somebody else's trademarked name. That's why you see brands calling infant PJs jumpsuits or rompers or sleepers or bodysuits. And pretty quickly after the website went live, they changed it from onesie to jumpsuit. Again, pretty unprofessional, kind of signals that someone had to point out to them, hey, you might want to change that. Did you not do your research beforehand? What's also unprofessional is not including any size charts anywhere on the website. The only sizing guidance given anywhere on the website is in a couple of the women's listing descriptions where it says, if in between sizes, size down or true to size. Length runs on the longer side, but not too long. What does that even mean? The pants are long, but they're not too long. So just order your normal size, or I don't know, maybe size down if you feel like it. It's honestly so embarrassing. People are just relying on a hope and a dream that these $100 PJs are actually going to fit them. And you better get lucky because the return policy is a joke. It says that they do not offer exchanges, but you can return it for store credit. Returns will be processed for store credit as an e-gift card. The actual shipping costs will be deducted from the return credit. For the MEMS may also charge a 10% restocking fee based on the original purchase amount if the return rate exceeds 75%. I had to reread this a dozen times to try and figure out what they were saying, which is problematic. Your return policy should be pretty clear to consumers, but what I think this means is that you can return your For the MEMS PJs, you cannot get an exchange, but you can get store credit, but you have to pay the shipping cost to send it back to them. And then as far as the return rate, I think this means if you're returning 75% or more of what you purchased from them, so like let's say you bought 4 sets of PJs and you're returning 3 of them, then they may also charge you a 10% restocking fee. That's my interpretation of their return policy, and that's not a good sign. We should not be having to interpret return policies. You should be explicitly clear about what customers are getting and how they can return their items. And at this point, with all these caveats and loopholes, it's like, what's even the point? I read this and I take that to mean, okay, no returns. They're making it too complicated. They're going to nickel and dime you. You have to pay the shipping back. You're not going to get your full amount back. And when you do, it's only going to be store credit. So like, what is the point? Pretty bold of them to offer a crap return policy when you're not even including size charts on your website. How is a customer supposed to know what size to order if you don't give them any guidance and then don't let them return anything? I don't know about you, but personally, I do not purchase from companies or brands or websites that don't have a solid return policy. I don't trust them enough. I don't trust myself enough to buy the right size. I'm notorious for buying something in multiple sizes knowing that I'll return the one that doesn't fit. That's a level of comfort and confidence that I rely on as a customer, and I will not support your business if you don't offer that to me. I feel like maybe the way that came out sounded a little bit entitled, but I feel like that should just be the standard for clothing companies, especially if the clothing you are offering as a brand has inconsistent sizing print to print. So the website goes live, people get a chance to explore it, and they're pretty shocked and they're pretty pissed. People are automatically feeling like this brand was thrown together without much care or consideration at all, which goes completely against their mission statement. The PJs are incredible incredibly marked up, and these two influencers are just trying to cash out on as big of a profit as they can possibly squeeze out of their followers. Maybe hoping that people will just overlook the quality and the pricing because they really want to support their favorite influencers, taking advantage of the parasocial relationship in a way, because let's be honest, the only people who are going to buy these PJs are their followers, right? No random person in their right mind coming across this brand on Google is going to look at the quality and the pricing and be like, yeah, I'm sold. No random everyday person is going to willingly pay these prices, so they are relying heavily on this parasocial relationship they've built with their followers to help convert into sales and into profits. And unfortunately for them, it has failed miserably. I found this screenshot on Reddit where somebody added 3 items to their cart right when the website launched, and they were able to find the upper limit of the quantity in stock by manipulating the quantity levels in their cart. So they just kept adding it to their cart until it gave them a notice that like there weren't any more in stock and the maximum you could buy was this number. And at the time of launch, they had 15 units in stock for this size of the boys après ski set. They had 38 units in stock for the onesie back when they still had it listed as a onesie. And then they had 65 units in stock for the extra small women's set. And a few hours after the launch, the same person checked again by adding these to their cart, and now they noticed the onesie is called a jumpsuit and that none of them have sold. None of the boys sets have sold, and only 5 of the women's sets have sold. The caveat to this example is obviously it's a very limited sample group they have here. It's just a few sizes of one of the prints, and we have no way of knowing if other sizes of other prints were selling better or not. But the point is, usually when an influencer creates a new product and they hype it up to their followers for weeks and they create all this content about it, they set countdowns, set your alarms, it's launching at this time. They're obviously hoping that their following is going to rush to get their hands on it and create this sense of FOMO, like I better get there quick enough because look at all these comments and all this hype, people are so excited about it, I hope I get it before it sells out. Well, the exact opposite happened for the mems. Here's some of the comments I saw on their announcement post that the website is live, and thankfully I got these screenshots before they turned the comments off. This person says, I left a respectful comment on your TikTok about them being too expensive for most of us, and within 5 minutes you blocked me. I followed and supported you for years, incredibly disappointed, but now I know your true colors. So now not only are their loyal followers not purchasing the pajamas, you're actively turning them against you by blocking them and silencing them. So grateful you hyped all of us up to not even be able to afford these. How do you expect the people who follow you to spend more than $100 on family pajamas, especially with the material chosen? You're so out of touch with reality. I'm sorry, I love you both, but $98 for one set of pajamas is extreme. I wish these were more affordable. The holidays already take a toll on people's funds. So cute, but so out of touch with the real average family. $300 for a family of 4 for PJs. I'm so sad. I love y'all, but that's insane. Girl, we can barely afford groceries for our kids. What makes you think we can drop $100 on pajamas? If I have $100 just laying around, I'm using that to put food on the table. I mean this in the nicest way possible. Your audience, based on your followers, are younger people. Younger people are being hit the hardest with the current economy. The price range is not in line with your audience. These comments here are proving that. Marketing being aligned with your audience is so important and is what makes a business successful. We all make mistakes and starting a business isn't easy. Please don't get mad at people for sharing their opinion. This is feedback for you to make changes and come back better. And this person says, I fear we may need an apology video ASAP for this. Well, ask and you shall receive. We're about to get there. As I've mentioned, they've turned off comments on most of their Instagram and TikTok videos, and about 24 hours after they launched the For the Mems website, Cecily and Samantha posted this long-awaited apology video, one that people were hoping would come.
Hey guys.
Hello.
You guys know that we started For the Mems, and it was inspired by our family's desire to always come together to create special memories, to coordinate, to match, and that all originated with Christmas morning.
And so that's when For the Mems was born, something that would be high quality that we could love, but also that you guys could love too.
Obviously, neither one of us has ever had any experience in the clothing industry.
That's
when
clear.
It comes to building a clothing line from the ground up, that specifically, I mean, I worked in retail, but when it comes to building a clothing line from the ground up, it is completely different.
We didn't have any experience in designing, producing, selling, especially when it comes from something from the ground up. And we are so thankful for everyone who has given us guidance on this, everyone who has supported us on this. It has been incredible.
But in all honesty, yesterday was another learning opportunity for us.
Absolutely.
I understand that it's your first time creating a clothing line, and that's gotta be daunting, and I'm sure there's a massive learning curve that comes along with that. But the truth is, buyers don't care. That's not their problem. Buyers expect that you do your due diligence, you do your research, that you put out a quality product, that you don't do a rush job, and that they get what they pay for. You should have ironed out the details literally before launching your clothing line. We shouldn't be charging people for anything less than perfection, and it's not the buyer's fault that you don't know what you're doing. Figure it out before you launch it to customers. Push this off until 2025 if that's what it takes. Launching something prematurely and as sloppily as this just signals to your followers that this is a cash grab before the holidays. It's a really, really bad look.
Samantha and I cannot state enough about how proud we are of the quality of the pajamas that we are selling with For the Mems.
And we are so confident in the fact that everyone who has purchased one will absolutely love the quality of the product that they receive.
Yeah.
We are really grateful for the feedback that we have received about the price of the PJ sets. And in wanting to maintain that desire and that heart for why we started For the Mems in the first place, to bring something that we love and cherish so much to you guys, we wanted to make it more accessible, and we've decided to lower the prices on the pajama sets across the board on the website.
Dang.
We saw your guys' comments about being so excited for this drop, and we are so grateful for you being a part of the excitement with us. But then your disappointment of not being able to have it within reach, and that's why we wanted to reduce those prices.
We want to do this to make this more within reach for you, our community, because our community is what matters most to us.
Yeah. Something that Samantha and I value so much is authenticity when it comes to both of our social channels.
We very much value transparency and honesty with you. And in that spirit, we just want to let you guys know that we have lowered the prices to a point where even if we sell out every single item on the website, we will make zero profit on our investment into this.
If you're wondering if you've already purchased, we've already had you guys in mind. We will be refunding your portion to the new price that is reflected on the website.
Yes. Aware of the risk that we are taking in doing this, and we are also aware that some people may even take more time out of their day to try to shame us from not doing this in the first place.
This is something that we admit to and are completely okay with correcting.
Learning and growing.
Yes.
The new prices will be reflected on the website at the time of this video going up. See your concerns and your comments, and we heard you, and we are doing what we can to make it feel right.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for letting us be honest with you. We love you and are so, so grateful for you.
Yeah, so thankful to just be able to come on and candidly share our hearts.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, good for them for like listening to the feedback, lowering the prices. I was actually shocked that they did lower the prices. I did not expect them to do that. I thought it would be more likely that they would just put them on some massive discount for Black Friday or something. So when I first watched through this and they said that they were lowering the prices, I was like, dang, that's really respectable. I am proud of you for doing that. And we're gonna take a look at those new prices here in a minute, but I think that them adding in that little detail about how they're not gonna make any profit on this, even if they sell out every single piece on the website, that's tacky. Your followers already feel like they're being taken advantage of and like you're screwing them over. And so for you to flip it and try to gain sympathy for making them feel screwed over, it's not a good look. What are you doing? It was unnecessary to add in that detail about how they're not going to make any profit now. And I don't believe them, actually. And here's why. They barely lowered the prices, you guys. The women's sets came down to $75 when they used to be $98. Men's t-shirts didn't get discounted at all. They're still $38. The men's joggers were $78 and now they're $59. The girls and boys sets are $58 now when they used to be $78. The kids jumpsuit is now $58 instead of $68, and the infant jumpsuit is now $38 instead of $58. For some perspective, these prices are now on par with those brands that we talked about earlier, Kite Baby and Little Sleepies, who offer the higher quality bamboo pajamas. So yes, they did lower the prices, that's good, but they did not lower them to a level that is appropriate for the quality that they're selling. They're still selling these at a premium brand price point and still giving you Walmart quality. When they said they were discounting everything on the website, I expected it to be way more significant than this. Earlier, I gave the example of a family of 4 getting their PJs from For the Mems for $370. With these new prices, with those same 4 pieces, it would be $288. That's still more expensive than Kite Baby. And once I saw these prices, then I was even more irritated that they chose to point out how they're not going to make any profit on this, because how is that even possible? The material is is cheap. It looks like you spent one day in a studio with a photographer because the qualities are rushed and sloppy. You didn't hire models because you just use your family members. Like, where is all of this startup cost coming from? Like, if you're charging $75 for women's pajamas and you're making zero profit at all, it sounds like you got scammed somewhere within the production process, because I guarantee you these did not cost $75 to make. So again, it's not the buyer's fault that you made mistakes in the development of this clothing line, and maybe you made some poor investments, and maybe you made some errors and you had to reprint some things. The buyer should not be responsible for incurring that cost so that you can still get paid a profit after all of your mess ups. I think it's pretty shocking that they expected to turn an immediate profit too. That's not how most business works. You've got to invest. You've got to get some skin in the game. You have to build yourself a reputation. You've got to offer a great product at a great price point. You have to build that trust and that brand loyalty so that people get their hands on your PJs. They love them. You create repeat customers that in turn then create a profit for you in the future. They've made it seem like they're not just going to be sticking to Christmas PJs and that they're going to be having multiple drops throughout the year for different family PJ sets or something. But how do you expect to create repeat customers and turn a profit if you've burned all your bridges at the first drop? And as people are receiving their orders and posting their reviews on TikTok, that's not helping their case either. Here's one review that I saw.
If you're looking for an unbiased review of the For the Mems PJs, you came to the right place. I feel like I don't even have to say this, but obviously I bought these with my own money. It's a review of the PJs, not the people who made them. I actually don't follow them and I don't really know that much about them. So this is a PJ review, not an influencer making PJs review. I ordered them on Monday on the launch day and they arrived today instead of Tuesday, which is earlier than I expected. Based on how rushed their website looked, I was expecting this to come in just a plain gray poly mailer. So the custom packaging is a good sign. Now I ordered an extra large. I'm a size 14. There was no size chart on the website and there is not really a return policy. So hopefully these fit. I have no problem buying things that are kind of expensive as long as the quality is there and the experience is there. So to me, experience, custom packaging. They do have custom packaging, which is nice. Now this does not automatically mean bad review. The custom packaging is nice. There's no invoice, no packing slip, no thank you note. And if you're buying something that costs maybe a little bit more than it should, I do expect there to be some sort of invoice or packing slip or thank you note. Let's see these pants. Okay, the material does feel like it would be comfortable, but it is actually very sheer. And I ordered an extra large and they sent me the wrong size. They sent me an XXL.
You're kidding.
So, first part of the review is bad because they sent me the wrong size. I checked this bag to see if the right size was on here and it's not. It says 3X on here and the pants are 2X. Let's see if we have the same problem with the shirt. This does say extra large. It is in fact an extra large. This does look like it would fit me. Same thing. It does feel nice, but it is quite sheer. And to be clear, you do not order these as separates. You order them together. So I ordered an extra large. I got 2X in the pants and an extra large in the top.
So the sloppiness continues. You're selling these as a set, but you're shipping off 2 different sizes. That's messy. And then you make it really difficult to do returns and you don't offer exchanges. Fantastic.
But let's try them on. Only sizing info that I could find on these were that the pants ran long, but not too long. I'm 5'7", so I'm kind of tall. These run pretty long. Like my foot is completely covered. I mean, granted, these are one size up than I normally wear, but I'm not against a 2X. The description was accurate saying the pants run long, but it was not accurate when it said not too long. PJs themselves feel decent. They are quite comfortable, but I cannot get over the fact that I paid $75 for pajamas, sent the wrong size. There was no size chart. They're way too long for me, and I'm 5'7" and actually prefer a long length. This is like extra long. PJs are cute, but I literally just got them in, so I haven't washed them. I do plan to wash these and I will update once that happens. We're supposed to lay these flat to dry. That's not really who I am as a person, especially when it comes to pajamas. These are the PJs. They are quite cute. They are comfortable, but I cannot get past the fact that I got the wrong size in the pants when you order it completely as a set. And the fact that there's no size chart on the website and the description does not say how long these pants are, because if someone was 5 feet tall and ordered these, they would be in big trouble because they are 7 inches shorter than me. I know a lot of people were waiting for this review and I hope I didn't let you down, but the verdict is that I would not spend $75 on these. And I'm not against investing money in quality pieces. Website, the wrong size, and the extremely long length of these would have me saying that no, I would not spend $75 on another pair of these. Thank you for watching. So I know a lot of people were wondering this, and this does not matter to me, but they are made in China. It did not say on the website, so I did want to include it here.
She voiced exactly my concerns about the length. I am that 5 foot person person that she's talking about where these are going to be like 7 inches too long on them. She's 5'7" and they're still dragging on the ground significantly. She's above average height and she's still going to trip over these. She also posted this update later on.
Update for the pajama review. And first of all, I want to thank everyone for leaving me such nice comments about my review. I do really try to be fair. There are things I like about these PJs, and then there were things that I didn't like about the experience of ordering them. So a lot of comments were saying that the pants and top look like different colors. I actually don't believe that they are. When I held them up close, they did look the same, but I think what you might be seeing is like the fabric is kind of sheer. So anywhere where there's a double layer, it does look a little bit different than when there's only one single layer. And the other thing I wanted to address is something that a commenter actually pointed out to me, and I did not notice this, although I do remember reading it on the website. Cecily is modeling PJs here that have white buttons, and the description does say it has pearl buttons on it. So although I think the blue is fine, I don't think there's anything wrong with having blue here. Sometimes when you're spending a little bit more on an item, you do fall in love with the details and it makes it fun or exciting to buy. So Cecily's PJs obviously have different buttons than the ones that are being sent out. There is a pair on the website in the flat light that does have blue buttons on it, but the description says pearl buttons. And the other comments I was getting a lot were people asking about the care tag, and there is a care tag in here. I did mention in my last video that they were made in China. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but people were wondering, and I'm objectively just saying they're made in China. 3% rayon, 7% spandex. The machine instructions are hand wash or machine wash on delicate low spin cycle with similar colors. Stay flat to dry. Do not bleach, do not iron. I said these are quite cute and quite comfortable. If you are looking for the white pearl buttons, I do not know if you're going to receive them.
So now we have even more issues with the consistency, which again is a huge issue if you're selling matching family pajamas. What if mom gets blue buttons and grandma gets pearl buttons? You're not matching anymore at that point. And that little detail is kind of hinting to us or giving us an inside look that maybe there were more errors on the production side of things than they're letting on. And that's fine. I'm sure there's going to be hiccups along the way, but at the very least, let the website represent what people are going to be receiving. Now, here's another creator with over 1 million followers on TikTok who wanted to buy the pajamas and wanted to do a review, but she didn't get that far. And here's what I mean.
I'm late to this whole pajama drama fiasco. Okay, by the time I got here, the price had already been lowered to $75. They were $98, okay? Why did I buy a pair? Because I need to know. I need to know if these pajamas are worth this much money. Now, why does this interest me so much? Because I myself have been talking to a few manufacturers to manufacture my own pajamas. And initially, I wanted to do bamboo pajamas, but if I wanted to do bamboo, it would be so expensive, da-da-da-da-da. It would be considered like a luxury item, and I was like, I don't know if I want to sell pajamas that are that expensive, so they gave me a cheaper alternative. So I was so curious as to what fabric and material these pajamas are made out of. And lo and behold, to me, they are made out of the cheaper fabric, which is rayon. So rayon is pretty much a fabric that you can put a print on. Like, let's say it's a white pajama, right? You can put a print on the top of it to make it have any pattern that you want. And this is the cheaper alternative to like a bamboo fabric. And then also 7% spandex. This spandex was dyed to match. The material may feel it, but remains. See what I mean? Like, at this point, I'm invested. As somebody who's like thinking about making their own pajamas one day, I'm like, I've got to know, because whenever I did the math on how much I would have to sell them for, it was nowhere near $98. And I would still be making profit on the same material with a print. I don't know.
Okay, so she's doing this for her own form of market research. I'm thinking about making pajamas. I was considering this material. Let me purchase it. Let me get my hands on it. Let me see what that feels like. Let me see if that is actually worth the price they're charging for it. Because even she said that she was thinking about doing bamboo. And even if she sold bamboo pajamas for $98 a set, she would still be making a profit. So the fact that they're selling these pajamas for $75 for the rayon material and claiming not to make a profit, something is fishy. The very next day, this creator posts this update.
For the memes, be for real. Y'all were gonna get a review, but I posted my little video. You remember how last night we ordered this pajama set together? And we went over the fabrics, the materials, and I said I ordered it because I wanted to see if I thought that these were worth the $98 that they were originally priced at. So I've been busy as all day. I get home, I get in bed, I'm checking my emails. I see order number 1477 has been canceled because of unforeseen circumstances, and your payment has been refunded. So I'm late to the pajama drama. Like I said, I ordered these when they got dropped down to $75 and they're not making profit, right? Also paid $7 in shipping. It was like 82 bucks, okay? So I'm like, maybe they ran out of stock. Maybe they're no longer selling the pajamas. That's why I got refunded. So I go to their website. Crazy. The size that I ordered in the set that I ordered is available on the website. Babe, y'all must not know me. I will order this again under a fake name to a different address. You will never know that it's me. I can do it in a different state. I will get my hands on these pajamas. Why did you cancel my order? What, a paying customer can't order a product and review it? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Y'all got me f***ed up. Why was my order canceled whenever y'all got them in stock on the website, babe? Baby? Y'all won't see my order coming. Y'all will not see my order coming. But just know I'm gonna get my hands on these pajamas. Yes, ma'am, I will. What, you didn't want somebody else with a platform to review this? That's crazy. Crazy.
Canceling somebody's order because they have a big platform on TikTok and you are scared of what they're going to say about your pajamas. Why? What do you have to hide? Any person out there is entitled to spend their money on your product and then share their honest opinion about it with the public. You can't be scrubbing social media trying to do damage control, canceling people's orders because you're threatened by what they might say about them. But it only gets crazier from here. Look at this.
So you guys know the pajama drama. I ordered a pair of the $98 pajamas. Said I wanted to give an honest review on them since there's all of this craze about them. Pointed out the fabric of the pajamas is rayon. My experience working with manufacturers saying that it's a cheaper alternative to bamboo, da-da-da-da-da. So I placed my own order, spend my own money. They cancel my order, okay? I just wanted to give an honest review. I never said anything bad about the pajamas, never said that they looked bad. I ordered the set that I thought was the cutest. This is Samantha's response to everybody being pissed off that they canceled my order. We canceled one because we were informed the order was placed with intent to post a negative review regardless of the quality of the product. What? I said I was going to give an honest review. I'm so confused. It's defamation and malicious intent. Because I was reading off of your website what you said, the fabric, that's defamation. Babes, Google is free. Do you know what defamation is? Anyways, I'm just in shock. Like, I didn't say anything bad about these pajamas, other than that I thought that they were overpriced and I wanted to give a review and state my opinion. And even if I hated them and I said, these suck, that wouldn't be defamation. That would be an opinion, which I don't think I would have hated them, to be quite fair. The fact that this is the response to them canceling my order, I have no words.
Samantha, what are you doing, my girl? We can rewind the tapes. She didn't say anything negative about your pajamas. She never said that she was maliciously ordering these to be able to give a bad review. Like, where did you get that information? Well, here's where that information came from, supposedly.
I don't know how I missed this from 3 p.m. today. I saw the comment that I got tagged in first, but this was in my requests. Hey, I wanted to reach out personally, but the reason we canceled your order is because we were informed that you posted on Reddit. Before you... What? I don't even have a Reddit. And that you intended to leave a bad review regardless of the quality, which is a crime and shows malicious intent to harm.
A crime.
Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? If this information is incorrect, please let me know. No shade to you personally. I didn't even know who you were until this, just protecting ourselves, but wanted to give you the space to speak. Samantha, drop the screenshots, girl. Drop the screenshots of me on Reddit. You could trace every IP to every account on Reddit. I have one, I think. I have never posted a comment. I have never commented on anything. I only have it to read the snark pages about me. But anyway, this is... Obviously, no, that wasn't me. I think that we both know that. I wasn't posting on Reddit saying that I was going to give you a bad review. Are you well? Are y'all well? No.
I cannot get over the fact that she called it a crime to order something with malicious intent to post a bad review. It's not a crime, okay? I suppose if you really wanted to, you could sue somebody for defamation, but that's a civil suit. That's not a criminal suit. Samantha does not know what she's talking about, and I think right here she's acting out of defense. She's feeling really threatened and upset about how the launch of these PJs went, and I think she's panicking and spiraling and doing her best to do damage control, but it's not working. The exact opposite effect is taking place. Also, how could you possibly know that this one anonymous post on Reddit is connected to this girl on TikTok who said that she was ordering your pajamas to give you a review? I don't think there's a way to do that unless you find out their actual IP address or something. I don't know, maybe there's better internet sleuths out there than me, but I don't know how to do that. But going back to the defamation thing, she apparently believes that posting a negative review about a product constitutes defamation and therefore legal action, which is so funny. Stating your opinion is not defamation. If Samantha really wanted to, she could sue a customer for defamation over a bad review, because guess what? You can sue anyone for anything. And at that point, it's kind of a matter of who has more money. If Samantha accuses a customer of defamation, then that person could defend themselves and stand up to her and prove that it's not defamation in court, but they would need the funds to be able to do that. You can prove that you're in the right, but generally only if you have enough money to fund your legal defense. But somehow I don't think that Samantha is going to waste her time filing all these lawsuits against people who are giving her bad reviews, because that would mean that she would have to pay her own attorney fees, and that's not practical for most people. Even influencers likely don't have the kind of money to just be throwing at lawsuits whenever they get their feelings hurt. And it is so petty that For the Mems would cancel someone's order out of fear that they're going to receive a negative review. Because again, what do you have to hide? I think that Samantha's response in particular is an exceptionally bad look, and it's not helping the situation at all. I would like to think that if I was in her position, I would be apologizing profusely. I would feel so bad about it. I would take the loss and I'd try to do better in the future. And they're kind of trying to do that with the apology video and lowering the prices a little bit, but then behind the scenes, they're sending DMs to people and being all defensive and like, just accept defeat and do better moving forward. Although I do empathize on a human level with the fact that this is probably a really stressful and painful situation for these two influencers. I'm sure they had a lot higher hopes for the launch of their clothing line, and the internet can be really harsh and really overwhelming with everybody's opinions, especially when there is this kind of timestamp on it, like something big happens, you drop something, and then everyone's opinions come flooding in all at once. It's a lot. I understand what that feels like to a degree, and so I do feel bad for them on that level. I don't wish that feeling on anybody. It's horrible. But at the same time, it's almost like, what do you expect if you know there are all these issues with your clothing line and you know that it's all kind of thrown together haphazardly, and then you slap this gigantic price tag on it? Like, there's no way they actually thought in their minds that that was going to go over well, you know? It seems like there may have been multiple opportunities throughout this process to course correct and to get back on track to avoid this kind of an outcome, and that didn't happen. And on that note, that's everything I have to show you for today's video. Thank you for hanging with me through a little bit of a unique topic today. I don't usually zero in on like one specific influencer or one specific situation, but this was all over my algorithm when it happened. I was following along in real time, and I think it's a great opportunity to talk about the larger issue of influencers taking advantage of their audience and not doing their due diligence when creating and launching products, and then expecting their audience to pay the price. I'll end this off by saying that I do wish Cecily and Samantha the very best in their future business endeavors. I do empathize with the fact that this likely feels like a huge disappointment in their very first launch, and it's hard to deal with the feedback that's coming in about that. But I hope that they learn and they grow from this experience. I hope they're able to turn For the Mems around. I hope they're able to do better in the future. I would love to see them find success creating quality products at a reasonable price point, because that is what their followers deserve. And with that, that's everything for another episode of Influencer Insanity. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.